For cheap D2R items, visit aoeah.com. You get 3% off with the code Arreat. Check the link in the description. Hello and welcome everybody. In this little video special, we'll check out the classic game mode of Diablo 2 Resurrected. If you need some variety after all the seasons, you maybe can find a new kind of challenge in the game by playing classic. It can even really pay off, because very good classic items are traded at high value, and since the number of possible affixes is much lower than in LOD, the chances of finding something worthy is not bad at all. Without Act 5 a rush is quickly done, and you don't need a bumper for the Bale quests. That's why a classic rush, or in short C-rush, is very popular. Since characters can be converted later on, even LOD players like to make use of a classic rush, so several people offer this service on platforms like JSP. This can be kinda profitable on the long run, it does not take much time, and if you have a strong Sorc, you can even rush multiple characters at once. So there are definitely plenty of reasons to play classic, even though there are no charms, no jewels, no runes and no rune words. The item pool is very limited as well. Rare and magic items have fewer possible affixes to roll on, and there are no elite items, only exceptionals. Plus we only have normal, set and unique items here. Without Act 5 there is also no Larzok quest, so for adding an open socket to an item, you have to use the cube recipe that consumes a Stone of Jordan. But since you cannot socket anything else than gems, it is not that important. Melee characters usually put a skull if they find a worthy weapon. There is only little room in the stash, and your characters can only equip one weapon set. The weapon switch function was added with the expansion. Further, there are no tokens, so you can respec each character 3 times only. However, there are also a few things that are very comfortable. Items have no high level requirements, so you can usually wear most of your endgame gear very early. Block chance in Classic fully depends on the shield, you don't need to skill dexterity for it. All skill updates from Resurrected have been adopted, so newer farming builds like the FOH Paladin work too. In Classic, the Druid and Assassin classes are not available of course, but the remaining 5 classes all work fine. To get started, I have 3 different build suggestions for you. First one is a Fireball Orb Sorceress. Max level Frozen Orb deals sufficient damage yet, even without the synergy, so you don't need the 2% per point in Ice Bolt. 1 point in Cold Mastery doesn't hurt though. In the Fire skills, Fireball, Meteor and Fire Mastery are maxed, 1 point goes into Warmth. With the Lightning skills, we take Static Field and Teleport with 1 point each, and I've also put a few points into Lightning and Lightning Mastery, just to make the Sorceress able to kill monsters that are immune to cold and fire, like the Countess. But without key or rune drops, you probably won't farm her anyway. Here is what an endgame setup in Classic might look like. The Shard is a typical caster weapon, thanks to 50% FCR. There are not many ways to get cast rate here. Mage Fist is of course great for a Fire Sorc, and Goldskin adds solid resistances. Lenimo can be useful for its mana regeneration, and 2 Stones of Jordan are especially powerful here. You'll notice that you don't reach that high skill levels in Classic. You got no Skillers, no Torch, no Spirit, no Shaco. So a caster whose damage comes purely from the skill level needs any point he can get. The remaining slots are filled with rare items. Of course you won't start out with this kind of endgame gear, but what you find will be enough to get by. You should definitely use a shield with high block chance, and early on you'll get cast rate from your jewelry. Use anything that adds skill levels and make sure you have enough resistances, especially fire and lightning. Extra life and mana are also fine. With a sorceress like this you can ultimately farm everything in the game, and since she's the only class that can teleport, she's especially good for Andariel and Mephisto runs. The cow level also works fine with that area damage, and as long as you don't deal enough damage to efficiently farm the Chaos Sanctuary in Hell, Nightmare is still a good option. Since there's no elite loot anyway, you can find almost everything you need in Nightmare yet, at much higher kill speed. A Paladin is also a very good starting character. He's quite tanky and has his salvation aura, so you hardly have any struggle with resistances. With an FOH Paladin or Templar Vindicator you can easily do chaos runs or farm the High Council in Travinkal. You'll be doing lots of chaos runs for leveling, and Travinkal is a very good farm spot in Classic as well. For the playthrough it's better to go with the Hammered In. Both builds use the same gear, and the skill trees are just like in LOD. Here you can see what items my Paladin is currently using. In general the same rules apply as for the Sorceress. Pick a solid shield with high block chance, and you need cast rate and skill points for high DPS. If you find a weapon with high melee damage, you can even play the hybrid build with FOH and Zeal. Like that you can also kill animals. The only body armor in Classic adding skill levels, Silks of the Victor. A build that should not be missing is the Whirlwind Barb. You just skill him like in LOD, and go hark the corpses of slain enemies, especially super unique and elite monsters. Good spots are Fire Eye in the Palace level 3, Storm Tree at the entrance to Lower Kurast, and the High Council in Travinkal. The Barbarian is also pretty strong in chaos runs, but you'll need to find a good weapon first. Just like in LOD, melee damage mainly scales with the weapon damage. A classic barb is very powerful when using a two-handed weapon, like a strong hammer. The enhanced damage mod rolls up to 200% here, and of course skill levels, attack rating or a leech are useful adds. Further notable is the high durability of my hammer. It is 3 times higher than usual. Good weapons are still rare, but there are unique weapons that drop fairly often, which are just fine to start with. A nice option is the Angelic set, and I'm even using the armor here. Like that, the rings not only ensure high attack rating, but also add plus 50% magic find each. Then I like to play gloves and belt from the Death Disguise set, especially for the attack speed and life leech. Leech is important for the barb, it keeps him alive. Further I got some rare items. This is likely my magic find setup. It works very good to farm Fire Eye and the High Council. The barb can also do chaos runs with that gear, but I also got a swap setup in stash, adding more resistances and dual leech. For pre-buffing, I also have 2 weapons with +2 to barb skills in the cube, so I can boost my war cries by another 4 levels. I hope you enjoyed this little trip into the classic world, and maybe some of you even feel like starting a classic character now. I say goodbye, take care, and may the loot be with you.
Follow me. Come on. Thank you. Goodbye.